Got it stove after stove, stroke on the smoke. They tell me to quit, don't listen what I'm told. They help me forget that this world is so cold. I don't even know what I'm chasing no more. Tell me what I want, just keep searching on. It's never enough. Cup after cup.
Guys, I'm back to bring you guys another video. I got my buddy Jason here with me with his 2018. We're gonna talk about a common topic that's trending right now. This is the 2018 5.0s and the ticking issue. He just got the car back out the shop through Ford. Thank goodness he was able to get the motor fixed before the latest TSB was released, which basically stated that Ford would no longer be fixing any of the 2018 through 19 or previous model Mustangs. They said it was normal. Basically, F you.
Low key what they saying for real.
Let's go more into detail as of what the actual TSB said.
All right, key things like you said, 2011 to 2019 Mustang and F-150s with the 5.0 may exhibit a ticking noise, which even they have claimed to be a typewriter tick or named it a typewriter tick, and they're stating that sound or that tick is normal.
Normal? What is normal about that? I mean,
right. The noise in question may be heard on some engines when the engine temp reaches 150 degrees. It can typically be heard at the front wheel well, which is where everybody tend to record the sound at.
So basically, they did acknowledge that there is a tick and that tick is clearly 100% normal, which we all know that's not normal. There's been instances where some guys' motors have actually failed. They let you know right there there's something going on. But that's crazy though, how everything is just, you know, transpiring. But Jason, would you care to share how you was able to get yours fixed before the new TSB?
So fortunately, I came across a YouTuber. Haven't got his permission to state anything that he's provided, but so I'm just gonna leave his name out. But I came across a YouTuber who was also going through the issue. He was able to provide his diagnostic report from Ford. So using that, I went up to my local Ford dealership, one of them, and kind of shared that with them, expressed how I felt about it.
They gave you a little trouble at first, then the first couple times.
Yeah, I actually took it up there shortly, maybe a month after I got the car, and like the TSB state, they told me it was normal.
Normal, really? Normal.
Yeah, so I just accepted at the time. I mean, I obviously had plans to either get rid of the car at that point or try again, try a different dealership. I mean, I just kind of took it at the time. It was around holiday season, you know.
And for the longest, I ain't gonna lie, I thought that it might have been normal because, you know, as great as a company Ford is, I wouldn't think that they will release a motor that's pretty much defective, you know. So I was like, Jason, man, keep the car, bro. Maybe it has something to do with changing the oil or something like that. Cause I seen a lot of videos on YouTube talking about once they did their first oil change that the tick went away. Or I've heard things about the injectors. Maybe it's the injectors, you know, the new injector system.
Yeah, that's another thing that made me wait, man. Like I was like, okay, I think at the time I was maybe 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles. I was like, let me just wait and get this first oil change. Waited till about, I think 2,500 miles, got the first oil change. And that's when I hit you up, man, because it actually sounded better for about a day or two. Like, I really thought that may have fixed the issue.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it didn't. Sound came back and it was...
louder, probably.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit louder, to be honest with you. I think it was a little bit louder. I mean, I confirmed that they put 10 quarts of oil instead of 8 quarts. That's the
stock. They come stock like that?
Yeah, the previous Gen 5.
Oh,
I think
gotcha.
the 11s through, maybe wrong, the 11s through 17s took 8 quarts. The 18 pluses take 10.
They take a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So, I mean, I checked the sheet, got with the advisor, made sure they put 10. I mean, everything was up to par as far as what they did. Standard oil change, and Sam came back.
But since you done got the car back, what, you got it back about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, got it back about 2 weeks. Well, the process, man. Came across the YouTuber. He was able to send me his diagnostic report. I took that along with, you know, mentioning my previous experience, mentioning what everybody's saying on forums and YouTube. I was able to get my advisor to take me back to speak with one of their lead mechanics. And even he was like, hey, I just did one of these on a 17. We had to replace the short block on it. We went out to the parking lot. He listened to mine. He was like, oh yeah, this is exactly like the 17. So we're gonna go ahead and order you a short block.
Good deal.
Mind you, this is a week before the TSB was released.
Talking about timing.
Yeah. So they went through the whole process, ordering it, breaking it down. They fixed the other couple minor things. February 5th is when the TSB was released, I believe. I picked the car up on February 6th. So obviously at that point, they've already fixed everything. They're probably just in the process of, checking, test driving, putting things back together.
That leads me to believe that Jason's car might have been the deal breaker for Ford to go ahead and release that TSB, because I mean, literally, after your car was finished, Ford decided to go ahead and cancel all repairs and all that. And then the diagnostic report showed that there was some scoring on cylinder 8, was it?
Yeah. See, the funny thing is, man, Ford swears that it's a normal operation, it's a normal sound. The mechanic I had anyway, he obviously broke it down, pulled the heads off, and he saw issues. The guy on YouTube that provided his diagnostic report, his stated that cylinder 3 had an issue. Mine states cylinder 8. They're pretty much saying, I want to use the correct terminology or the exact terminology that they used. Cylinder 8 out of round past spec at 0.001, so 1/1000th of an inch.
Don't sound good at all.
Yeah, nice little paragraph here.
Show them that paragraph.
Excuse me. So they definitely found issues, man. So that's the part that, I mean, even though they agreed to fix my car, and at this point it's still fixed, that still kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth that Ford is saying that it's normal when several diagnostic reports state that there are issues being found. But since getting it back, man, I had it back for what you say, a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't had any issues, haven't heard any ticking. The power feels about the same. No complaints up as of right now.
With all that being said, let's start her up.
Go for it.
And they said the tick can be heard where? By the drivers?
Yeah, typically either wheel well. You put the camera about, behind the wheel or whatever. You hear the ticking.
I definitely do not hear any tick.
Yeah, so a little tap in here and there. You can hear there's something. Now that is the fuel system. That's normal.
Gotcha.
That's direct fuel injection. Direct fuel injection.
There you have it, folks. Jason was able to be one of the lucky few that was able to get his short block literally redone. That's good on his behalf because he did have a typewriter too. Good deal, he got that figured out. Is there anything else you want to say to him before we let him go?
Hey man, good luck, man. I know for the people who actually are still experiencing that engine tick, I mean, obviously it's going to be a tough road ahead trying to get Ford to fix it or to even acknowledge that it's a real issue. So good luck, man. I mean, I really wish that there was like a big petition or something that could go around and or a big class action lawsuit or anything that could just make Ford, make an uphold what a warranty is or what a quality product.
Last thing we need is a car that's defective.
And obviously the people that are buying the 5.0s are at least somewhat of an auto enthusiast. Just somewhat. I mean, at minimum, there's somewhat of an auto enthusiast. They're driving a 5.0. So just make it right for them. Make it right.
Let's lead these guys off with a good exhaust rail. How about that?
Mind you, stock mufflers.
Oh yeah, go and tell them the setup. What's on there?
Hey, just stock mufflers, man. Stock mufflers, X-pipe, resonator delete, X-pipe.
Hey, this thing sounds good. Sounds great. What'd you rev it up to?
Oh, it was about $5 grand.
$5 grand? Hey, monster. If you guys want to see us line them up, like this video. If we get to 100 likes, which I've said previously on another video, and we did not, he said dig race. We did not get to 100, so I'm giving you guys another opportunity. If we get to 100 likes on this video, we will line the GT500 up with the 10-speed auto 5.0.
From a dig.
He said from a dig. We'll do one dig and we'll do one roll. So you guys got your money, y'all. With that being said, though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are able to learn something. And for any of you guys that's going through maybe a similar situation, good luck. Hope this video was able to help in any kind of way. Until the next one, you guys take it easy. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Until the next one, you guys take it easy, all right? Peace.